How do you seize a high-value target when the entire world is watching your every move? You don't rush. You misdirect. You drown the truth in noise. What unfolded was not a traditional military assault, but a carefully engineered illusion, a textbook example of strategic deception. While global attention locked onto the skies and the seas, the real operation unfolded quietly on the ground. The stage was set using a single urban structure as bait. Above it, the airspace filled with over 100 aircraft, creating an overwhelming sonic curtain. The roar was intentional, loud enough to mask the approach of helicopters slipping in beneath radar coverage. Perimeter defenses flared, night turned to day, and by the time the dust settled, the aircraft were already gone. So was Venezuela's president. This wasn't chaos for chaos' sake. It was precision. In the early hours of the morning, just past 2 a.m. local time, Caracas went dark. Power failures rippled across the city. By sunrise, the political center of gravity had shifted. The world believed it was watching a naval standoff in the Caribbean. In reality, a covert extraction was already complete. What happened was an invasion. It was a surgical removal. Newly declassified timelines now reveal how U.S. forces penetrated the heart of Caracas and executed a clean capture operation. Everything began months earlier. For weeks, U.S. naval assets had been tightening their presence along Venezuela's coastline. Carrier strike groups and amphibious units held position offshore under the banner of counter-narcotics enforcement. Officially, it was about disrupting trafficking networks. Unofficially, intelligence agencies were tracking one individual, waiting for a narrow window when he would be isolated, predictable, and exposed. When that window opened, the operation moved instantly. At exactly the chosen hour, stealth aircraft entered contested airspace. Advanced fighters neutralized key air defense nodes, blinding radar systems and disrupting surface-to-air missile coverage. With the sky cleared, helicopters moved in low and fast. Simultaneously, secondary strikes hit major military installations and air bases, triggering confusion, explosions, and a nationwide communications blackout. The destruction wasn't the objective. Distraction was. Under cover of darkness and disorder, elite operators advanced. Witnesses later reported aircraft skimming rooftops, flying far below standard detection thresholds. The assault team breached a fortified compound believed to be embedded within a major military complex. Resistance was immediate but short-lived. Defensive fire was overwhelmed by coordinated suppression from the air. This was the moment where preparation paid off. The unit assigned to the mission had rehearsed every step relentlessly. Intelligence operatives had embedded sources close to the target's inner circle. Meanwhile, back in the United States, teams trained inside a full-scale replica of the compound, practicing entries, room clears, and extraction routes until the sequence became instinct. When the breach came, it happened in seconds. Flash devices disoriented security personnel. Doors were forced before locks could engage. The target had no time to react. There was no negotiation. He and his wife were secured immediately and moved to the extraction point. Specialized aircraft hovered above, capable of urban pickups and in-flight refueling, allowing the team to lift off within minutes. By the time Venezuelan airspace realized what had occurred, the helicopters were already heading toward a secure maritime staging zone in the Caribbean. The operation, later referred to by analysts as Southern Spear, altered the balance of power in the region overnight. But the air campaign that enabled it raises a larger question. Why did the United States rely so heavily on fifth-generation stealth aircraft instead of older platforms? The answer lies in Venezuela's layered defenses. The country operates a complex mix of Russian-supplied missile systems, Chinese radar networks, mobile launch platforms, and drone surveillance assets. In such an environment, legacy fighter jets would face unacceptable losses. Stealth aircraft, however, are designed for exactly this kind of battle space. Modern stealth fighters combine low observability with advanced sensor fusion and electronic warfare capabilities. They can detect, disrupt, and destroy air defense systems while remaining difficult to track. This allowed U.S. forces to dismantle defensive networks quickly, opening corridors for helicopters and ground teams to operate freely. Geography also played a role. From forward positions in the Caribbean, Stealth aircraft could reach Venezuelan targets within minutes. Aerial refueling extended their operational range, while amphibious assault ships provided flexible launch platforms close to shore. This created a rapid response strike network capable of sustaining pressure across air, sea, and land. In practical terms, this deployment redefined U.S. military reach in the region. It demonstrated an ability to bypass dense defenses, strike with precision, and extract targets without committing large ground forces. The message was clear. Modern warfare is no longer about overwhelming numbers. It's about information dominance, speed, and invisibility. And this operation was a masterclass in all three. We'll continue breaking down how air, sea, and ground power integrate in modern conflicts, including a deep dive into strategic deterrence and global force projection. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next.